Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I hope you've enjoyed my past few weeks videos. I'm here with a crochet project sort of thing today, and it's these puff crochet squares. So I know that I've done a previous video on granny squares, but I thought that I would teach you a different way of doing squares. I've come up with this sort of pattern thing that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different rounds that are super simple to follow and super easy to create, but it just creates this really nice kind of flower puff pattern that is made into a square quite easily. So you could make loads of different colours of these and then sew them up into a blanket. I don't know, you could do loads of things with these, but I thought I'd share this pattern with you because I really enjoyed creating it and I think that the result was beautiful. So I've got a few different ones here. I've got an all white one and then I've got some other colours, but I thought I'd do each round in a different colour, just like this one, so that you can clearly see the difference in the rounds. So I'll just show you what you need and then we can begin. Okay then, so you can use any yarn for this, obviously, because it's not a set pattern. It's just a fun little crochet project. So I'm using 4 different types of cotton yarn. These are cotton Aran. I know I've been using these a lot lately, but they're just leftovers from some of the blankets that I've done previously, so they're good scrap yarn to use up. So you could use up your own scrap yarn, obviously any weight. I've got my corresponding hook size, which is 4.5, and then I've got a pair of scissors just to chop off my ends. So go ahead and grab your yarn. You don't need 4 separate colours, you just need the selection that you want, and then we can get going. Okay then, so the first round is really simple. It's just doing some treble crochets, sorry. So to begin our round, we need to make a magic circle. So if you don't know how to do this, I do have a video on it, so I will link that in the description box down below. But you can do it in whichever way that you prefer. I know there's a couple ways of doing it. And then you're just going to chain 3 to come up to the height of your treble crochet. That's going to count as 1 treble crochet, and we're going to work another 11 so that we have a total of 12 treble crochets in this magic circle. So go ahead, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that counts as 2 trebles, 3 trebles, and so on until you have a total of 12. So go ahead, pause the video now and work 12 treble crochets, including this chain 3, into your magic circle. Okay then, so I've just worked my 12 trebles into the magic circle and I'm just going to pull that tight so that my circle closes up. All I'm going to do is slip stitch into the top of this chain 3 to close the circle up. So right now I am just going to change colours. You don't have to change colours if you're just doing a full square in one colour, but I'm just going to change colours just so that it's easier for you to see which rounds I'm on and what I'm doing. So if you are changing colours, I'm just changing to this purple. What you're going to do is actually just go into your chain 3. You can change colours in whichever way that you prefer. I know that some people have really complicated ways, but I just like to tie my yarn on and then go ahead and grab the yarn. So you can do that in whichever way that you like. Okay then, so now we're ready to start our puffs. So we're on round 2 now, which is our grey round. So you can see that we've got some puff stitches here. So to begin this round, we're going to not work into the stitches, we're going to work into the gaps between the stitches. So all you're going to do is gently pull up your loop to start with, just so that you've got a bit of length. You're going to yarn over, and the gap between where your chain 3 is and your next treble, that's where you're going to work into. So you've pulled up your loop so that it's a little bit higher than usual. You've yarned over, and then you're going to work into this gap right here. Yarn over and pull up a loop. We're making puff stitches, so this is quite loopy on your hook. So that's 1 yarn over, 2 yarns over into the exact same gap between your chain 3 and your next treble, and 3 yarns over. And then all we're going to do is pull through all of these loops except the last loop. So you should have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on your hook now, and you're going to pull through 6 of them, leaving 1 last loop on your hook. So go ahead and gently pull through all 6 of those, leaving the last loop on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over again to complete this stitch. So yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So there we've worked our first puff stitch. We're now just going to be working in the gaps between each of the trebles in that exact same way. So moving on to the next stitch, before that we just need to chain 1 just so that we can keep our circle flat. Then into the next gap between the next treble and the next treble, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, again making sure that it's high, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, that's 2, and yarn over for number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through 6 of them, and then to complete this stitch, yarn over and pull through those last 2 stitches. I'll work one more with you just so that you can clearly see what I'm doing, and then you're just going to repeat this into every single gap. So chain 1, moving on to the next puff stitch, working in between your 2 trebles, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, making sure that it's nice and high for your puff stitches, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, that's 2, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop for number 3. Pull through your 6 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the final 2 to complete. So there you've just worked 3 puff stitches. Go ahead and rewind the video or pause the video if you need to, but I'm just going to work the next 9 stitches, so you're going to end up with a total of 12 puff stitches in this round, making sure that in between each one you chain 1. So go ahead and pause the video now, work 9 more puff stitches into the gaps between your treble crochets, and I'll meet you back when you finish that. Okay then, so I've just finished my round. The last one is a little bit tricky to see, but it's just in between the treble crochet and the chain 3 of the very beginning. So I've just finished that. You should have a total of 12 puff stitches now, and I'm just going to chain 1, and I'm going to slip stitch into the stitch that we made at the very beginning. So this one right here, it's a bit loopy, but slip stitch into that stitch. So I'm just going to go ahead and change colours now so you can see my next row clearly. Okay then, one thing I should just mention is that if you are changing colours, I've just attached mine in the gap between my puff stitches. You can attach it in any single gap between your puff stitches. I've just attached mine. If you have not changed colours, all you need to do is slip stitch over into that gap, which should be pretty easy to do. So just change colours to this grey, and now we are on to this round here, the pale blue round, and this is actually working some treble crochets together. Again, we're working in the gap between the stitches, which we do for each and every round, but we're going to work some trebles now. Okay then, so to begin this round you need to chain 3, which is going to count as the first one of your trebles. and in each one you're going to treble 4 crochets together. So yarn over, insert your hook into this gap, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now you don't want to complete this the second yarn over because we are treble crocheting 4 together. This stitch will be a little bit different. We're only actually treble crocheting 3 together, but for all of the others we're going to treble crochet 4 together. It's just because we have our chain 3 to begin with. Then we're going to yarn over into the exact same gap, work another treble, so yarn over, pull through, and yarn over and pull through only 2 of your loops again. So now you should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And there we have our third treble crochet. So our chain 3 counts as number 1, then we have 2, 3, 4, and now we can complete this by yarning over and pulling through all of those loops on our hook. And now we've just worked our first treble 4 crochets together. So before we move on to the next stitch, we need to chain 2. And now we're ready to work into the next gap. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next gap, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through only 2 loops, leaving 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Number 3, and finally number 4. So now you should have 5 loops on your hook, and to complete this stitch all you need to do is pull through all 5 of those loops. Moving on to the next one, I will just do one more for you. So chain 2, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through only 2, that's number 2, number 3, and finally number 4. And then to complete this stitch all you need to do is gently pull through all of those loops. So go ahead and work this in every single stitch around, so working in the stitch spaces. You should again end up with 12 stitches, which is 4 treble crochets together. So go ahead and repeat this and I will meet you back when you've finished. So once you have finished that round, I've just chained 2 and I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we worked earlier. And then I am once again going to change colours. Okay then, so we're now on to our fourth round for the circle, and I'm just using this teal colour once again, and we're back to creating puff stitches. So we're going to create 3 puff stitches into each space. So if you've attached your yarn, obviously attach it into a gap, but if you haven't changed colour, make sure you just slip stitch over into the next gap. So to begin this round, all you're going to do is gently pull up a loop, and we're going to create 3 puff stitches. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, that counts as 1 yarn over, then yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and that's 2 yarn over, and that's our puff stitch for this round, so only 2 yarn overs. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through almost every loop, leaving just 1 on, so that you have 2 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through those final 2 loops. And then in between these 2 stitches we need to chain 1, and then we're going to work another one into that exact same gap in the exact same way. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, that's 2 yarn overs, yarn over, pull through almost all of them, and then finish off by pulling through those last 2. Then chain 1 back down, so you're going to create 1 puff stitch, a chain 1, one puff stitch, a chain one, and then your final puff stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through almost all of these stitches, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And now we can work that in the exact same way into each stitch around. So I'll show you one more and then you can get going. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through almost all of those, yarn over, pull through those last 2, chain 1, then we're going to work our second one, chain 1, and work your third and final one. So go ahead and repeat this into each stitch around, working 3 puff stitches with a chain 1 in between each stitch. I'll meet you back when you have completed that. Okay then, so I've just finished working that round, and I'm just going to slip stitch into this stitch that we worked at the very beginning, just to complete that round. So now you've completed the circle part of this project, you could even keep it as this, maybe as a coaster or something like that. But if you do want to turn it into a square, there's just some super simple things that you can do. So I'm just going to change back my colour back to the white, just so that you can clearly see which stitches are in which round, and then I'll meet you back when I've done that. Okay, so once again, if you are attaching your colours, make sure you're in a gap. If you are not, then just slip stitch over into that gap. Okay then, so we're ready to make it into a square. And to do this, we need to work some double trebles and some trebles just to make sure that it lays flat. So, to do this, all we're going to do is into the first gap, we're going to chain 4. So that's about the height of a double treble. And now we're going to work another double treble into that exact same gap. So to do a double treble, yarn over once, yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. So you should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops, yarn over and pull through another 2, and then finally yarn over and pull through those last 2. And there you've just worked a double treble. So now we need to work some chains so that we can kind of turn a corner. It's kind of like the granny squares. So we're going to chain 3 so that that turns into a corner. And then into the exact same gap that we've just been working in, we're going to create 2 more double trebles. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 more, and you're going to create 1 last double treble. So that is going to kind of sit at your corner. So because we have 12 groups of these 3 puff stitches, so that we have a square, we need to work along these 3 puff stitches, then we need to work another corner, then we need to work these 3 puff stitches, another corner, 3 puff stitches, another corner, and then back round like so. So again, we're going to be working into every single gap, so in between these puff stitches, not on the puff stitches, just in between them. So you're going to work normal trebles, so yarn over into the gap, work 1 treble, the next gap, another treble, the next gap, another treble, and we're going to work 8 trebles, so that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, and that is 8. So there you have one side of your square. We need to work another corner. So to do that, we're just going to work two 2 double trebles, a chain of 3 and another 2 double trebles. So 1, 2, a chain of 3, and into the exact same gap work another 2 double trebles. It may get a bit cramped, but as you work your way around it will flatten out. So I'm actually just going to leave you here and talk you through it. So all you're going to do is create another 8 trebles into the gaps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to this corner, and then you're going to work 2 double trebles, a chain of 3 and another 2 double trebles. Then you're going to work 8 along this side, a corner, and then you're going to work 8 back along this side. So if you're finding it a little bit difficult, go ahead and rewind the video and watch me work this side. But it's super simple. Just start working your 8 trebles, so 1, then into the next gap another 1, working that 8 times, and then working your corner stitches. So go ahead and pause this video here, and I will meet you back when you have made your circle into a square. Okay then, so to finish off, I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 4 that we worked at the very beginning, chain 1, and cut off my yarn. So if you have changed colours, you probably will have a load of ends that you need to sew in, which I will do probably after this video. But hopefully you should have something that looks a little bit like this, obviously with different colours. You can experiment with different colours. But I hope you enjoyed this video today. As I said, I really enjoyed creating this video and coming up with it. It's a super fun way to incorporate your squares and make them into something a little bit different. Instead of maybe your boring granny squares all the time, you can maybe do some puff squares to add into your work. With all of these different variations of colours. So I really hope you enjoyed this video today. Leave me a like if you did, comment down below if you'd like to see any other future videos like this. Also subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video. Go and check out some previous videos, some previous content on my channel if you have the time. Get your crochet skills on, learn a new skill and learn how to knit. Or you knitters, learn a new skill and learn how to crochet. Thank you all so much for watching. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you have the chance. I'm at hooks.andneedles1. I'd love to see all of your accounts and all of your creations. So go and follow me on there if you have the chance. I will leave a link in the description box below. Also, all of the yarn that I used in this video will be in the description box below, and some other content for you to check out. So thank you all, and I will see you all next week. Bye.